everybody, this is Mattie here with Altcoin Buzz. Hope you all had a terrific weekend, our viewers and listeners out there in the Altcoin Buzz army. And what a better way to start your Monday than checking out this green sea on coinmarketcap.com. Guys, whatever your favorite project is, you can even just pick anything out of a hat. Everything seems to be up. A lot of positive activity today in the market. Fantastic. Holy cow, look at NEO up over 18%. There's some other big gainers as well. Bitcoin up over 20%, 0x up over 25%. Nice to see these kinds of day, guys. Let's have a sober look at what's causing this in the next video. But for now, let's keep an eye on this activity and enjoy it while it's here. Again, we take the victories as they come along. So here we are on altcoinbuzz.io. We're just doing a single feature today, guys. As I promised a few days ago, we're going to take a look at this report that was published by ING and written about by Licia a few days ago. People know about crypto, but are not buying into it, ING report finds. So the Dutch bank ING, one of the leading banks around the globe, has published a, quote, cracking the code on cryptocurrency report, which contains results of a survey carried out in Europe, the US, and Australia. The good news is that the interest for cryptocurrencies is explicit. The not so good news, at least for crypto enthusiasts, is that fewer than 1 in 10 Europeans currently own cryptocurrency. Guys, do check out Licia's article. It's up on altcoinbuzz.io. She does a good job of summarizing the report. We're going to launch, however, into the report directly and take a look at it firsthand. Let's do that right now. So here we are with the report, guys, by ING. We're going to be linking to this in the description, of course. Cracking the code on cryptocurrency, Bitcoin buy-in across Europe, the USA, and Australia, published in June of 2018. So a little bit about the survey. The ING survey aims to gain a better understanding of how people around the globe spend, save, invest, and feel about money. This particular survey took a look at 15 different countries. You have about 1,000 respondents that were surveyed in each of those countries, apart from Luxembourg, which only had 500. So you have nearly 15,000 people that were part of this study. And the countries are listed here and visualized. You have Austria, Belgium, Czech Republic, France, Germany, Italy, Luxembourg, Netherlands, Poland, Romania, Spain, Turkey, United Kingdom, USA, and Australia. So are Europeans betting on Bitcoin? This part of the survey sought to discover people's thoughts and their attitudes, their exposure to cryptocurrency and Bitcoin in the first place. And the results show that 66% of those surveyed have heard about the cryptocurrency. And that breaks down 77% men, 55% of women. 35% agree that the future is cryptocurrency. You have 65% that say real estate investments are less risky. I might agree with that, actually. I think this is a volatile market. It kind of depends on the timeline and the horizon that you're looking to invest. 9% currently own cryptocurrency. That's an interesting stat. That's actually higher than I was expecting. It doesn't sound like a big number, but 9%, that's almost 1 in 10. So 9% currently own cryptocurrency, but 25% say they expect to buy some in the future. Okay, let's take a look now at more thinking about cryptocurrency. So when it comes to attitudes about cryptocurrency, the obvious first question is, have you heard about cryptocurrency? Do you know what cryptocurrency is? And overall, you have 66% of those 15,000 respondents that do have some knowledge about cryptocurrency, or at least they've heard about it. Only 34% say they have never heard of cryptocurrency. And you can see there's quite a defined breakdown here by the countries. Look at Belgium, for example. It's almost a flip of what you have in the original or the averaged European consumer. So Belgium, only 38% of them have heard about cryptocurrency, and 62% have not. But moving down the list, you have countries that are more and more knowledgeable about cryptocurrency, or at least they've heard about it. They've had more exposure to it. So those include Turkey, Italy, Germany, Romania, Poland, and Austria leading the way. 79% of Austrians have heard about cryptocurrency. And the US here is surprising me. Only 57% of respondents in the US say they've heard about cryptocurrency. Australia is a little bit higher, much higher actually, at 70%. So there you go. Now, looking at the binary question, again, have you heard of cryptocurrency? Looking at breakdown between sexes and age groups. Look at the difference between men and women. So 77% of men have responded in the affirmative. They've heard of cryptocurrency, whereas only 55% of women have. So there seems to be a little bit of a gender divide there as far as that goes. What surprises me here is how stable that these numbers are across the age groups. So for 18 to 24-year-olds, you'd almost expect this number to be disproportionately high. But you have 64% that have heard about cryptocurrencies in that age cohort. 25 to 34 years old, it only goes up to 69%. Also 69% for 35 to 44, 66% for 45 to 54, 55 to 64 is 65%, and in the 65 plus category, it's still as high as 60%, which is just 4% lower than the 18 to 24 range. So I find this to be a pretty stable, I mean, I know they're not exactly equal. They're not like lined up along a razor's edge, but that's a pretty equal distribution. I thought there'd be a lot more variability in that, skewed toward the younger and the millennial crowd at least. But that's a very interesting finding right there. So another very important question, have you purchased crypto assets? The question is, I own some cryptocurrency. So we discussed already briefly that only 9% of these European consumers own cryptocurrency, meaning that 91%, even if they've heard of it, even if they've all heard of it, have never dipped their toes in the water. They've never purchased anything. Now here the spread is very interesting because the percentage of owners goes as low as 4%. Look at Luxembourg, only 4% of people in Luxembourg own cryptocurrency. But then you have some countries that are in the double digits here. So 10% and higher, people in Spain, Poland, Romania, and then you have a big jump in Turkey where 18% of people own cryptocurrency. So that number is quite high. Compare that to Australia where it's 7% and the USA where it's 8%. So these numbers are still low. Obviously, it's a lot easier to hear about cryptocurrency even passively, if in the news or through the grapevine, than it is to purchase it directly and really put your money where your mouth is and by investing in this particular sector. Don't be discouraged by those low ownership metrics though, guys, because here we can start to feel a little bit more bullish. Next question is, I expect to own cryptocurrency in the future. So possible answers to this are yes or no. So the European consumer, despite the fact that only 9% of those surveyed own cryptocurrency, have 25% that expect to own it in the future. So that's up basically 2.5 times from those that are currently owning it. Belgium is 10%. Which is the lowest of the group, still not too bad. And then going down the list again, so look at these countries that are in the above 20% range. Germany, 21%. Italy, 24%. Poland, 29%. Spain at 32%. Romania, 38%. Turkey, again, leading the way. So 45% of Turks expect to own cryptocurrency in the future. That's nearly half the population. That's a wild number. I mean, they look, if you're Turkish, for those out there in the Altcoin Buzz Army, let me know what the vibe is out there in Turkey. It seems like it's a very pro-crypto society, at least relatively compared to some of these others. Australia, 15% plan to own crypto in the future, whereas 21% of Americans do. Okay, so in light of those very quantifiable opinions that we just looked at, we're getting into more the realm of hypothetical and the speculative. We're asking now, is Bitcoin in your future? And the survey asks a couple of questions here, specifically, how much do you agree or disagree that digital currencies such as Bitcoin are the future of spending online? Digital currencies are the future of investment, and the value of digital currencies will increase in the next 12 months. Now, maybe unsurprisingly, this breaks down a little bit, very much, I should say more than a little bit in terms of the confidence we just saw in the patterns we just saw with some of those other countries. So take a look at Turkey, for example. Turkey has 53% that feel that it's the future of spending online, 49% the future of investment, and 51% think that it's going to rise in the next 12 months. Compare that to the average European consumer who feels that it's 35% feel that it's the future of spending online, 32% the future of investing, and 35% that's going to rise in the next 12 months. You guys can take a look at this particular list. It breaks down all 15 countries, of course. The lowest is Luxembourg. So 16% feel that it's the future of spending online, 12% the future of investment, and 20% that it's likely to rise, cryptocurrencies are, in the next 12 months. Okay, the next question. Would you use cryptocurrency to buy a cup of coffee, receive your pay taxes, pay your monthly electricity bill, buy a plane fare, make an international payment for a product you buy online, or save for your child's university fees? So all kinds of breakdowns here. You can see buy a cup of coffee, yes, 23%. receive your take-home pay as many as 15%. Wow, pay taxes over 20%. Also for your monthly electricity bill. So not too bad. Save for university, all kinds of different things. You still have more people in the negative camp. So no, I don't want to change how I pay. So as much as 50% here, just under 50%, would not use that to buy a cup of coffee. And those numbers are fairly, they're fairly solid here. So you have in the mid and high 40s people that are expressing a negative opinion, at least for the time being, about changing some of their spending habits. And here you have, no, I think there would be too much risk. So for a different reason, not so much because they don't want to change, but because perhaps the prospect of cryptocurrency presents too much risk. They're saying, no, I would not adopt it for that reason. So interesting to see that this is lower as a column of metrics than this one. This has more to do with patterns and habits, right, of behavior, whereas this one expresses an explicit lack of conviction or lack of confidence in the technology that underlies cryptocurrencies. So heartening to see that this column is actually quite a bit lower. You have numbers in the mid to high teens, and you have 25% is the highest metric here that people would not want to receive their take-home pay in cryptocurrencies because it presents too much risk. So that's not too bad. And then you have this final opinion column, no, because Bitcoin only interests me as an investment. Oh, that's interesting. So the Bitcoin maximalists are in this column. You can take a look at those numbers here and break them down. Quite interesting to see some of these opinions. So here we can see that the respondents are asked about their risk tolerance. And the question is, how risky is owning one of the following assets compared to cryptocurrencies? So the stock market, 46% people view the stock market as a lower risk than Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. 30% see it as a higher risk. So this is generally 46% here. This is going to be the smallest category for which people attribute a lower risk than cryptocurrency. Pretty much every other one of these is viewed as less risky than cryptocurrencies going forward. Investing in your own business, 56% view that as less risky than Bitcoin and crypto. Government bonds, 63%. Real estate, property, 65%. Gold, 70% view that as less risky. And cash, 70% view cash as less risky than Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. However, you still have these numbers, all of which are in the double digits. So still 30% of people, for example, feel that the stock market is a higher risk than Bitcoin. I find that quite surprising. 30% across those 15,000 respondents feel that the stock market represents a higher risk than Bitcoin. That's not an insignificant response number. I mean, that's a big number. That's nearly a third of people that thought the stock market was a higher risk than Bitcoin. 25% for your own business, 21% for government bonds, 21% for real estate, 18% for gold, and 19% for cash. When taking a look here at the next question, we're taking a look at information, where it comes from, who you can trust, what your sources of information are. So the question is, if you had about a month's take-home pay available and wanted more information on cryptocurrency as a possible investment, where would you most likely get advice? So the European consumer, 27% say that they're going to look at specialist websites, perhaps like altcoinbuzz.io. Not financial advice, of course, but for those websites that are covering the news, that are covering information, that are covering trends in the market. So that's where 27% of the 15,000 people would go. You can see some of the other breakdowns here, family and friends. Some say straight up they would never invest in cryptocurrency, okay? Financial bank advisors, computer program or algorithm, and some simply don't know. You can see the breakdown here. So France, for example, only 17% of the French would trust a specialist website or a specialist personality in the media. That changes pretty rapidly as we go down the list. UK, 29%, Poland, 29%, Czech Republic, 34%, Turkey, 38%, Romania, 38% as well. Australia is 22%. The US is 28%. So really you can see the breakdown here. It's very interesting to see how that lines up, where people, would look for information. You still have a lot of people that's saying they would never invest in cryptocurrency, which, what can you do? That's fine. A little bit of a swath here that is kind of, I don't know if there's a pattern to this. You'd have to analyze it further, but a lot would actually say that they'd seek out the advice of a financial advisor or a bank advisor, which I find interesting. So do take a look at this, guys. Check out the breakdown for where people want to get their information, their financial advice when it comes to cryptocurrency. I think it's an interesting mix of opinions here. All right, Altcoin Buzz Army, that about sums it up. Obviously, a very interesting, objective look at where people's opinions in cryptocurrency lie across a number of different countries. So it's always interesting to compare and contrast opinions like that. And that was a pretty robust survey. I think it did a good job of covering the basics. For myself, my takeaway is the fact that about 1 in 10 currently own cryptocurrency, which isn't so bad. So that's one thing. Whatever it may be, that is what it is. But the fact that you have many more, about 2.5 times more people that are looking to invest in the future, that expect to soon own cryptocurrency, that's the most positive thing as far as my takeaway. And if you have a different opinion, or you have a different take, or maybe you have an observation based on the metrics that I didn't cover or I didn't notice in the first place, hey, leave us a comment below, guys. Let us know what you liked or you didn't like about this particular survey. As Licia writes here, to summarize, Jessica Exton, a behavioral scientist at ING, pointed out that, quote, cryptocurrency remains an abstract investment for many, but there may be more appetite for digital currencies than some might suggest. I agree, and I remain hopeful for the same reason and enthusiastic. So do be sure to leave an article comment for Licia. Let us know your thoughts below, guys. And hey, look, in the meantime, enjoy this green wave, this green sea of crypto that we're enjoying at the moment. It's a great way to start the week. So hopefully that your portfolios are looking a little bit better today. We're going to be on top of this story, guys, going forward. We're going to cover it in further detail. So do be sure to follow Altcoin Buzz News. We alert you to the latest information, the latest happenings in this space. Check out the newest podcasts, guys. They're coming out a little bit more regularly. We're starting to find our groove. So do be sure to check that out. The links are available. And with that, guys, I wish you happy investing. I hope that everything is looking good and green for you. Let's enjoy it. Let's share those victories while we have them. We'll see you again in a new video very soon. Take care, guys.